for this vlog. This is AndersMill Knits and I'm your host, Emily, and you can find me on the interwebs as aka Millie907 on Instagram and aka Millie on Ravelry. We also have 2 Ravelry groups. I'm getting good at this intro, aren't I? It's working. 3rd time's a charm. Or is this the 4th? It might be the 4th. On Ravelry, you can find us as AndersMill Knits, and there is a chatter thread going on there for our audio podcast, which is Little Cabin Knits. This last podcast that I just published this last week is all about, well, the last part, the hygge part, is about our journaling adventures and styles, and I wanted to hear about what you had to say. So I put up a chatter thread and I'm inviting all of you to go over there and speak to me about it. Then, before I get into something that is on my mind, then we have another group on Ravelry called the 24 Days of Cheer, in which we do our 24 Days of Cheer swap every year. We've done about 4 or 5 years now. It's been awesome. And then we also have our year-long 12 gift knit socks KAL going on. And that is every month we have a featured designer and we pick a sock from their designs, and you can pick whatever sock you want, and we go for it and knit it for somebody in our lives or for ourselves. Who really cares? So you can put that aside to give to them at Christmas or whatever you want to do with it. The options are up to you. So with that, we also have a February thread in which I'm inviting you to go over and chit-chat it up, because if you do, you could win this beautiful skein from Alaskan Yarn Company called Raspberry Schwaps. It's absolutely gorgeous. Love it, love it, love it. My head is now a skein of yarn. And just chat in there. You can just go in there and say, Emily forced me to do this so I could win a skein of yarn, or hi, and that's it. And that's an entry to win. You get another entry to win if on Instagram you use the hashtag 12giftknitsocks. You get an extra entry. Okay. Then at the same time, we have another giveaway going on for both Little Cabin Knits and AndersMill Knits. So if you would like to win this beautiful skein of Sarah's Textured Crafts, which I have been hoarding like it's my little dragon egg that no one shall take from me, for about 2 years or more. That was a little weird. If you would like to win this skein, though, go over to Instagram and use the hashtags Little Cabin Knits and AndersMill Knits. And if you would like bonus entries of 5 bonus entries, that was the number 10, but I'm just flashing it up there. The number 5. There you go. You go over to the purple icon, the Apple Podcast app, and leave a written review for AndersMill Knits, and you can have 5 extra entries to win this skein of yarn. And I will be pulling for both of these yarns next episode of Little Cabin Knits. So get on up and do it, folks, if you want to get to winning. Okay? And I'll also announce the winners on AndersMill Knits as well, so you know. I had decided that I need to say something really quick as to why I'm recording for the 4th time. Because this last episode of Little Cabin Knits, I did not realize this until after I had processed everything and gone live with the episode, but my microphone stopped working after a certain number of minutes. I couldn't figure it out. I had no idea why this was doing this, and so I didn't know that happened. So during the segment of hygge, partway through, a good 3/4 of the way through that section, my microphone stops working and there's just dead air. Then it happened again when I recorded my next segment, which was a positive thought. Dead air again after a couple minutes. So frustrating. But then it came back in after a few minutes, and I just think it's this stupid microphone. I'm gonna have to return it to Amazon because it's doing it again to me today, and I am angry about it. So I'm just gonna have to return it because it's just, yeah. And so what I thought I had fixed the problem, and so I went and I had just recorded about 40 minutes just now, and I go back to listen to it. 20 minutes into it, no verbiage, voice. And I just got so frustrated I deleted the entire video, so that meant that I had to start from scratch. Not the smartest of moves, I'll admit, but I was frustrated. So those are some of the things that I wanted to let you know about. Let's do a little bit of reviewing notes, shall we? What has been going on my little cabin? I have been staying cozied up in my cabin. It has been fluctuating wildly in temperatures. Like right now, it is, oh, it doesn't tell me. But right now it doesn't tell me. But when I was leaving work, it was 30 degrees. It was balmy and warm. In fact, I have the heater off right now. And I am actually warm still. But yesterday, I think it was like 2 degrees, and the day before that it got down to the negatives again, and then but then before that it was up in the 30s, and blah 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 blah. So it's just been a little bit confusing as far as the weather's concerned. And so I've been snuggled up with, oh, and we've been having a lot of blizzards, a lot of snowstorms, so that meant a lot of shoveling continuously, so that didn't get carried away from me this weekend. But I really just kind of stayed home, besides from getting a get together and grocery shopping this weekend, and just snuggled up with my pup and knit, or took naps, or did a little bit of cross stitching. You know, just kind of did that. I was supposed to have a craft night, girls' night, with my girlfriends down here in Kenai. I went over to my one girlfriend's house, and they had made jambalaya for dinner, and it was delicious. And my one girlfriend, she put soy sauce on her jambalaya, and I was like, girl, that'd be weird. But then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be brave. Let's mix these two cuisines up. Let's put a little Chinese in with a little Southern American. So I did. I just sprinkled a tiny bit in, and wow, did the flavors just pop and just come out even more. It was astounding. I loved it. So key though is just a little bit of soy sauce. That's a thing for you. So, but then our other girlfriend that was supposed to join us for this craft night still hadn't shown up. So we were like, what is going on? So we ended up FaceTiming her, and not kidding you, she was knee deep in laundry in her spare room. And she was just on the verge of a meltdown. So what had happened is that she is a single mom of 4 working full time, and she's been very, very ill. And so things have just been getting away from her. So she's been doing laundry, but she just hadn't had the energy to fold them and put them away. And unfortunately, the other kiddos weren't helping out with it. So things had just been piling up and piling up and piling up. So my one girlfriend that I had dinner and her partner with, we decided to forego the crafting, and we just went over to her house and just helped her for quite a few hours that night. I got the words. Folding up laundry and cleaning up their house in general, and getting the kids involved too. You know, she has one kid that was just a champ at vacuuming, and I just let him go with it because he was just amazing. Usually vacuuming's my thing. I love to vacuum, but you know what? When a kid wants to help out, and he's doing a great job, you just let him go with it. He was so good too. He would vacuum a little, but then he would see something on the floor. He's like, oh, I better go get that. So he'd put the vacuum down, go pick up anything on the floor that he didn't think he could vacuum up, put them in the trash or hand them to me, and then he would start vacuuming again. It was so cute. Besides from that, I've just been going to work. Oh, on Sunday, I did a lot of crafting, and I made myself a big, huge meatloaf, which I've been eating all this week for every meal because I've been needing a lot of protein. And I used the Instapot to do that. I made my meatloaf in the Instapot. It turned out beautifully. It's nice, and it's like it's so succulent, it just falls apart. Yeah, it's great. And in that one, I used a recipe that called for half of an apple peeled and diced to put in, and I was really hesitant about that, so I used a small apple, and lo and behold, again, I was pleasantly surprised to find it was freaking delicious. I'm gonna do it every time now. I love it with the apple. And then we had to go back to work the next day, so I've just been working, and I've had a couple doctor's appointments, and my blood pressure's up. I'm still working on my cholesterol. My blood sugars are coming down, but not to the point that I'm happy. And so we're still a little concerned about all that. My health in general has been really, really taking a hit since I moved down here. Now, I've never been the greatest at health, period. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor. I've got diabetes. I'm not technically an amputee, but I am missing part of my leg, and not from diabetes, from cancer. And so I've never been the healthiest of people, I should say. So, but since I've been down here, my health has been not the greatest. And my boyfriend and I have been talking about how, the being apart thing is really wearing on me. It's not just being apart from him, it's being so isolated from my entire support system, my family, everybody I love. It's one thing when I was in Portland, I had my brother there, and I had a lot of friends there as well that I could lean on. People that were friends to the point that I considered them family. However, down here in Kenai, I've got a few good friends. I really do. I love them. I've got 2 really good friends. And I adore them and will always be friends. However, 2 people cannot equal an entire support system for me. And they can't equal out my boyfriend's company, And Watson. There's Watson too. By the way, he's our other co-host. But he's asleep. On my knitting projects, by the way. He does that. So we've been thinking about what our future holds, Jeremy and I, and kind of looking into things and what would be best for me, especially health-wise. But I was talking to my doctor about all these things, and I noted to her that I've been so exhausted at night that I go to sleep, not to bed, but to sleep by about 8:30, if not sooner. And then I wake up at about 6 a.m. Or this morning I went to sleep, like last night I was asleep by 8:30, and this morning I didn't wake up until 6:48. And I'm still tired. Not exhausted, but tired. And we were thinking I'm not getting that true deep, deep healing sleep because my stress levels are so high. So we've been talking about how my self-care, I think my self-care is really good. I really focus on my self-care. This is one of the things that I do for self-care because I don't like the editing part. It's a love-hate relationship. I love doing this part. What I despise doing, especially on my phone, is the editing part. But since my computer died and my iPad doesn't have enough memory on it to do the editing, I have to do it on my phone. And it is challenging because these fingers apparently are not small or thin enough to do it well on my phone. I don't know. Anyway, but we've been talking about incorporating a little bit more meditation when I go to bed at night to try and prepare my body for that, and doing some neuro beats. I think that's what they're that's neurofeedback beats. Those, the gong stuff that you can listen to. Binaural beats. There we go. Binaural beats. I listen to some focus music that does the tones enhance things like focus when I'm at work and I need to be concentrating on writing up reports and things and my session notes. I listen to that a lot so that I can tune out everything around me, because we work in an integrated workspace. And I listen to that and so I can focus. I also oftentimes put on soothing music, kind of like the music you would listen to if you were getting a massage during my sessions, especially with clients that are really anxious and high strung, if you want to call them that. I don't think that necessarily is the greatest word for it, but to soothe them. So I'm going to try the binaural beats tonight, and then tomorrow I'll probably try the meditation. So we'll see how that goes. But we're just kind of exploring options, and not just in that way, but in other ways. So that's been my week in review, reviewing notes. So let's move on to case notes, shall we? I have a finished sock project. Using the Gideon method, Emily has finished the socks for her mother's birthday, which was in December. Granted, it was 3 days after Christmas, but still. I cast these sport weight socks on, the Plymouth Happy Feet on, 54 stitches around. I did a 1x1 rib, 2 at a time socks using the Mina Phillips or the Knitting Expat video tutorial on YouTube. And I did the ribbing first, and then I put them both on the same needle and went to town. I did not take them off the needles or separate them like Mina suggested to do for the heels. I just went with it. I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel and went on, did the feet and the toes, and they are good to go. And they are so soft and squishy. I did about 3.5 inches on the legs because I really like how they fit. This is my second pair. I think this is my second finished pair of doing, yes, because I did it on my other socks for my sister Amy, yes, of doing 3.5 inches on the leg, and I love it, really do. I think these will be a good option for summertime sock wearing. I'm also playing with cotton socks as well, knitting up, and you will see that in my works in progress in a minute. But I also, on Sunday, was a huge crafting day. I finished a bunch of trees. Trees. Remember the pattern Needled? It was super hot right now in December. And it was hot with me too. I had this grand idea that I would knit a tree for every coworker in my department. Didn't end up happening. I got so burnt out, I just couldn't do it. So, because I didn't get it done for Christmas, I was disappointed in myself. I put them on my shelf, and they've been staring at me for the last 6 or 8 weeks, however long it's been. Just driving me bippy with guilt. So this Sunday, I finally had enough. And I got them down, and I had enough, signal, there's the word, to watch on my iPad a few knitting podcasts. So I got to watch the Fat Squirrel Speaks, and then I tried out again the Homespun House or House Homespun or something like that. I don't know how I feel about that one, but you know, I tried out a few other ones. Knits by the Lakeside or Lakeside Knits, I can't remember, but the other ones were good. So, and I just pushed myself through. I stopped for lunch, but that was about it. And in the end, I got done quite a lot. In fact, all of them. So I got done one. This is my biggest and my well, not my wonkiest. Nah, they're all wonky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's turquoise, blue turquoise, by the way. So that's 7, 8. Yeah, I love how wonky this one is. Also, this one's not a silk and it doesn't have any strength to the, you know, to the yarn itself. 8, 9, 10. This is a hunter green. It's really deep. 11, 12, and 13. Yeah, 13 that I finished that day. Now, just so you know, I had finished 2 others that were already gifted and at somebody else's home. So that is 15 altogether trees that I have knit up. And I am no longer going to give them to my coworkers because that's just weird, like in the middle of February or the end of February to just give them to your coworkers. I don't know. So I don't know who these will all be for, but I have them in my gift basket now so that if I need a gift, there you go. And this one is already spoken for to somebody's home, so that one I know. And I think 1 or 2 others are going to go to a couple people that I know here in Kenai. But other than that, they're not spoken for. So who knows who they will go to. But I am very proud of myself. I finished those. Yay! Is that on there well? Okay. Yeah. Okay, it's on there. It just looks weird. It's fine, Emily. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? It's fine. Yeah. So those are my case notes. And so now in session, I've got 3 projects in particular that I have been working on. Oh, I just woke up the bear. Where are you going, mister? Yeah. Oh, he just gave me a wank. So you remember my Gil de Fra socks? Gil de Fra. Love these. Well, I had cast on for the second one at a dinner that I went to. And I like messed it up royally at that dinner. So I had to rip it out and recast it on. So during lunch, after I kept on forgetting my 2 socks that I knit together at home, but I have this in my car always. So during lunch this week, I've been knitting on this. I had actually knit the ribbing, which is 2x2 ribbing, about 2 or 3 rows too far. And I was going to leave it, you know, on my little cabin knits, I mentioned that I was going to leave it, but I decided that no, you know, what's the big deal? Just, I mean, you're going to be knitting anyway, so why not tink back some? I mean, it's no big deal. So I did, and now they match. And so I just knit on those, and I knit on those today during a work lunch meeting as well. Everybody at work now knows that I knit on my socks. So here's the Gil de Fra. This is an Italiano company. Yeah, that's my accent, and that's the only thing I can say. Italiano. My brother Zach is fluent in Italian, as he is fluent in at least 4 other languages besides from that, and he would just die if he heard me saying it that way. But that's my Italiano cotton, 100% cotton yarn. So this is living in my favorite bag, which is from Hot Pink Socks or the Rusted Stitch on Etsy. I love these guys. And I've got this cheap one that I got from Target during Christmas because I loved this one so much. I got this one for like $3. It doesn't compare at all, but you know, Emily's got to do what she's got to do. In here, I've been mixing up these 2 bags something awful too. The only thing that saves me is that one. The Rusted Stitch one has a handle, which I love, and the leather bottoms. So in here I have my Wild Heart socks by the Crazy Sock Lady, or what's her name? Crazy Sock Lady Designs, or Kay. Her name is Kay. I think it even says that. Kay Litton. So that's what I'm knitting on. This is a great pattern. I'm absolutely loving it. However, my only problem is that the twisted stitches are really hurting my arm, the muscles in my arm. I'm having to pop my elbow quite a lot. And so I did the 10 hours of the Gideon method on here, and then I just had to put them aside. I haven't even Kitchenered it closed. I've got the first sock done, but I haven't Kitchenered it closed. And I love the colorway. Isn't that awesome? So great. But and those twisted stitches, that panel up the front. Oh, it's so gorgeous. But it is hurting my arm. So I had to come to the conclusion that I could not finish these in the month of February. This is going to be a year-long project. And now I'm okay with that. So I am knitting this on 64 stitches around on my Chiagu size 0 needles. And I am using the Bad Sheep Yarn Company, or .com, I guess I should say. It's just Bad Sheep Yarn. They're out of the North Pole here in Alaska. I might try and go up and see them this summer. Who knows? And this is the Robius Tea colorway. There you go. If I stop moving, maybe you could read it. There. And I am thoroughly enjoying it. It is lovely. One thing I will say about superwash yarn, the smooth, soft factor is absolutely enjoyable. However, I want to knit with stuff that is not superwash. Okay, so my last project that I am knitting on, this is the current Gideon method that I am knitting on. However, I am so close to finishing it, and I just reached my 10 hours, and I'm like, no. Actually, did I reach my 10 hours, or do I have like 2 hours left? I think I might have 2 hours left. It's, I've done 8 hours. This is the Midtown Magic. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Midtown Magic, and you use two yarns contrasting. And I kind of did what she did, only mine is a lot more kapowy contrasting color. So my yarns are a, if I can find the other yarn, because there's just a tiny bit left. A single from Jimmy Bean's Wool in black. And then this colorway, which I think it's called Love is Love from the Knitted Wit. And I can't find, but I do know it's called Love is Love. And I am almost done. Now, when I got to this part, I haven't knit on this since the summer. This is what I've gotten done. Woo! All of that. It's beautiful. I love the yarn overs. I'm actually tempted to do this one again. I really like this. I never do the same thing twice. The yarns are pooling, colorways are pooling a bit. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. Which is interesting because of the way that I'm increasing and stuff. I didn't think that they would pool. I thought it would just be completely random. But, you know, whatevs. So, on this part up here, this web part, you're supposed to do the repeats 24 times. And let's see how many yarn over ones I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so I've got 20. So I might have just enough to do the 24. I'm not sure. The last 4 repeats. I'm just going until this is gone. When my black is gone, that means the shawl is done. And I'll have to bind off. So that's my goal. And I started, so it's getting longer and longer, wider and wider, and I picked this up this last weekend, and I had about 3 repeats of this top mesh part here. And So that's how much I've done. I've done about 17 repeats of that in about 8 hours. That can't be right. I don't know. Anyway, Gideon method be damned. I am going to finish this shawl before I move on to something else. That's how it's happening, okay? So, those are my works in progress, or my in session knits. Now, I did get in my toolbox, there is a section 4 in my toolbox, because Blueprint got me. They got me good. They went and had a good sale, and I bought 2 sweaters quantities from them. Yeah, my whole not buying anything until my birthday in July, completely out the window. In fact, I bought some more stuff today off of Etsy, thanks to one of those podcasts I was watching. So, I bought this pattern, which I absolutely love. It's called Wolf River. I'm so excited about this pattern. Can you see it? Is there another one that's better for you to see? Maybe that one. There you go. So it's called Wolf River, and I absolutely love it. Even if it hadn't been on sale, it still would have been a very affordable buy. So I bought the pattern and the yarn that goes with it. And I was thinking when I got it, I was like, you know, I just don't have a hand knit gray sweater. This would be a great staple, a great hand knit a gray sweater. So I got their Cloudborne Fibers. It's 100% fine Highland superwash wool. I know. Emily keeps breaking all her rules. I mean, jeez. It is this is in Slate Heather. It's lighter than it's showing up on the screen. But it is darker than it's the mid-tone for their grays that they have. And this is a worsted weight. 200 yards. And I got 6 skeins of it. So I have 1,000 yards. And let's see, for my size, let's make sure. Let's see, for my size, which is going to be the extra large, although it does have 2 inches positive eaves. No, extra large still. So the yarn, you need 6 skeins. Although this says Cloudborne Wool Bulky Twist. And I've got a worsted. But it's what it called for, so that's what I'm going for. And I'm excited about this. I want to cast this on, like, now. But I have another rule, that I can't cast on another sweater until I finish one of my other sweaters. So, no, not happening. Well, then I was still looking through it all, and I also came across this pattern. And it's the Hug You Me sweater. And it's one of those ones that starts from the back and knits around and around and around until it comes to the front. And let's see. And it's flattering on every body type. It's lovely. I had no idea this was like Aran or bulky yarn. I got the color pretty much that I saw in the picture there, which is Wool Bulky Natural Kettle Dyes Cloudborne Fibers. This is called Ocean Deep. And it is a bulky. It's 212 yards per 4.4 ounces. So I love this color. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to cast this one on too. Both of these are going to knit up so fast because here's the thing. I've pretty much just been knitting fingering weight sweaters for me because I have a larger frame. But the thing is that they take so long to knit that I get a little burnt out. So this is going to be my candy for myself. Then the last thing I purchased was this kit. I think this is the Wildflowers sample kit of the embroidery floss. Love this. Love, love, love. See all those beautiful jewel tones and stuff? I kind of want to get all their kits. I should have gotten it when it was on sale. I think it was 60% off. So, but I didn't. And that's okay, because I shall have plenty of opportunities to do that in the future. So, the last thing I'm going to talk about is my cross stitching, which apparently I forgot to bring over here. So one moment, folks. And the other one is on the other side. Hello. Okay, I have two, yes, count them, two cross-stitching projects that I am working on. I am going to show you the first one that I cast on, which is called the Fox Silhouette. And there's the fox. So I put together all of these things because I was having a really hard time on my phone. You know, all of these things are broken up. So I was scrolling from one page to the other on my phone, trying to count everything and do it all, and it just wasn't working for me. I kept on getting really frustrated. So then I printed them off, and I taped them all together, and I went back and I counted everything, and it turns out that I have been doing things wrong. And also my stitches were a little wonkadoo too. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. If I'm just going to try and make it work or what, but it is pretty. Even though some of my stitches are wonky, I still like it. I don't know. We shall see. So, because of that, and I was a little frustrated with myself, I decided that I wanted to do a simple project first before I got into that, because all of the different tones, like here, I'll show you all of the colors. It's a gradient kind of thing going on. And they're very close together, some of them, like these two, and then these two, and, you know, yeah, all of them are very close together. So it's been very difficult for me on the pattern itself to say, oh, that's 3 stitches of this color and not 2 stitches of this color and 1 stitch of this color. I've been, especially since the lighting is so bad in the wintertime, you know. Maybe this needs to be a summer project so that I can have better lighting. I don't know. We shall see. But I decided to do a simplified project, so I went online and I picked out a whole bunch of projects that I liked on 14.8 cloth. And the one that I decided to do right away was have a nice poop with these little violets going all around. And this is by the White Raven Patterns. You see up in the corner there? And I don't know, there's all kinds of rules about where you start on, or there's not maybe rules, there's maybe suggestions or the way people like to do it. But people seem to like to start in one corner or another on their patterns. And I just thought to myself, you know what? No, I need to practice my stitches. So I don't want to be concentrating on changing colors and getting all of the shading right. No. I want to just practice my stitches. So I started on the words. And so far, so good. I got an H and part of an A. And I tried really hard to like put it in the center kind of a thing. I don't know if that's the center, but I got plenty of fabric, so I should be good. I do notice that I get a little, like maybe I need to get one of those things that wraps around and hides all the fabric, because the fabric is starting to annoy me on the edges. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get one of those. So that's where I'm at, and I'm really enjoying it. So those are all my crafting doodads. Wow, this was fast. Only 39 minutes? What in the world? And then when you add in a little bit beginning and end, yeah, this is only just a short podcast. That's so weird. Maybe because I'm doing 2 podcasts now, I don't feel like I have so much to share each time. I don't know. Maybe I need to change some things up. Thoughts? Suggestions? Do we like the audio podcast or the video podcast more? And if so, what about those things do you like? You know? Yeah. Leave comments below. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment below. Don't forget, people, use the hashtag AndersMill Knits and Little Cabin Knits on Instagram. to be entered into win the Sarah's Textured Craft skein, and 12 gift knit socks on Instagram to win the Alaskan Yarn Company skein. Plus, get 5 extra entries for every written review is done on Apple Podcast. Got it? Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. I've missed you as far as viewing wise. This is a lot more natural to me than doing the audio version where I'm just sitting there staring at my cabinets in my kitchen, you know, and being like, this is silly. Who's listening to me? I have no idea. Where it seems like I'm kind of talking to somebody because I can see myself here. But, so I've kind of missed it. You know, just a little. Just a wee bit. Anyway, I just want to wish you well and to remember to knit what you love and love what you knit. Ta-ta for now.